We're going to preview the early game tomorrow. It's Poland against the Netherlands. And Ali, no Robert Lewandowski for Poland, no Frankie de Jong for the Dutch. We'll be heading to Amsterdam in just a second. What do you like in this game, and what chance have Poland got without Lewandowski?
Well, not a good one. He is a flag bearer for this team, and he's a guy who's leaned upon and counted upon to not only create the opportunities, but score the opportunities. And he hasn't had the best season with Barcelona. In fact, by his standards, he's had a pretty poor year. It's not so much about the productivity as much as it has been the performances, and the totality of the performances has not been up to his standards. So he was looking, I imagine he would have been looking forward to the Euros as something to kind of, in some ways, make this year better, make this season better. So he must be truly disappointed that he cannot be part of the opening game. As for the Netherlands, I look at a team that, if all comes together, maybe they seem to have enough, at least in name, in the attack to create some mismatches for other teams. They do have a lot of experience in this team. They do have a lot of names and players that have been part of important runs with their club teams, and you kind of feel like, okay, is this a coming out party for Xavi Simons? Is this the sort of stage that elevates his profile to a world-class superstar? Because that's usually what happens in this tournament. There's usually a player that goes from being, hey, this is a really good player, this is a productive player, had a good year for Leipzig. This is the sort of stage in which you elevate that to a superstar. Hasn't quite been the case for him and the Netherlands in terms of his individual performances, but there is potential for that. So if you're the Netherlands, you're looking at this and going, we got something, we're cooking. And leading up to the tournament, they've been playing well, they've been scoring goals. My concern is actually, are they going to continue to score goals? And you take Xavi Simons out of the picture, and you're leaning on Memphis Depay, you're leaning on Wout Weghorst. Is Wout Weghorst really? Is he really the answer? Well, apparently he's going to have to be at some point or another for this team. But there is enough for the Netherlands to be, at the very least, optimistic, not only to beat Poland, but actually make a run in this tournament.
Okay, let's get a Dutch take on this one. Delighted to welcome in Fresha Cousinho Arias. It's a big summer for you. You've got Chile in the Copa America. You've got the Dutch in the Euros as well. So double the chance of success. So Ali's wondering, he's asked a few questions about Xavi Simons and various other players. Are you really optimistic, cautiously optimistic, or we'll see how it goes?
Well, actually, there weren't any expectations on forehand for this tournament, since we weren't doing that well actually at the World Cup. And I mean, we like good football, we like pretty football. So not only winning is enough in the Netherlands, and yeah, it hasn't been that attractive. But the last two practical games against Iceland and against Canada, both won 4-0, were quite good actually. And then after that, you saw that the narrative in the country, it changed, and everybody's quite optimistic and has a certain feeling. So that's nice. But if it comes to Xavi Simons, there are several players who had a great season so far. Xavi Simons is one of them. He made the step to Leipzig. The season before, he played for PSV in Eindhoven, which is a Dutch club. And then everybody sees him every week, and we know his way of playing, we know his talent, and he's one of the biggest talents. If it comes, to our future players, he will be the big man. Everybody knows that. But if it comes to the national team, he hasn't been outstanding as he could be for Leipzig this season. But to be honest, I don't understand why the coach Ronald Koeman is not using him in the same way Leipzig is doing. You see him over there from the left side of the pitch, and in the national team he's only playing at the right side. So it's not really his strength in his way of playing. He likes the ball in his feet. He likes to play within different positions. So I'm really looking forward to him to I don't know, get rid of those critical people and just make fun, because that's the thing he does, and he's used to doing. So scored his first goal last week. So well, that's a start.
It's a nasty group, isn't it? Because Austria and France are decent, Ali. So I suppose from a Polish point of view, it's going to be hard for them without Lewandowski. But from a Dutch point of view, they can't afford to drop anything, knowing that they've got Austria and France still to come.
Yeah, and let me just say that while Fresha said that she was optimistic, it sounded more like she's cautiously optimistic.
I agree.
It's like,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
like maybe. Look, I'm gonna give a reason for Fresha to believe that indeed the Dutch are gonna do well and gonna get out of this group. I focus on Xavi Simons, and that's just one name. But here's another player that I think can make a difference for the Netherlands. And in fact, I will say two players. If you say Jeremie Frimpong can have the sort of success that he had with Bayer Leverkusen down that right-hand side, and then that allows Xavi Simons to float a little bit more central, or perhaps even lean towards the left-hand side, the combo package of Dumfries down the right with Jeremie Frimpong, I think creates mismatches in terms of speed for other teams. The power and the speed of Dumfries and the ability and skill set and the speed overall of Jeremie Frimpong can be a nightmare for other teams. So in the case of a team like Poland, that is going to be probably sitting behind the ball really deep, you need those players that are able to be defenders in 1v1 situations in very tight areas. Frimpong can do that for the Netherlands. And so if he has a big tournament and that combo package down the right-hand side is productive, then that I think that gives freedom to Xavi Simons to start floating in other areas of the field. And perhaps if all of those things happen, then the Netherlands are gonna make a run that Fresha is gonna be proud of. If those things don't happen, then we may be having a different conversation.
Yeah, actually, he was combined. Dumfries is combined with a different player, because in the two practical games against Iceland and Canada, we did see Frimpong, and he did really well. But he's a couple together with Geertruida, and they did really well together. And we saw well, the second match against Iceland, we saw Frimpong seen subbed on. And then immediately Geertruida got stepped on also, and they have a good connection. So yeah, definitely we will see him, which is quite funny actually, because at the World Cup, Denzel Dumfries was the big man, but he didn't play ever since, like not all the matches for Inter anymore. And ever since he's been a key player for the national team. But since Frimpong has had a crazy season, of course, with Leverkusen, and he has been a huge player for Leverkusen. And I don't know, he's also a nice fellow, you know. If you hear him talking, he's not able to talk Dutch yet. He does understand a bit, but I don't know. We also like players who are like likable. We like those players, and he has a lot of energy, and yeah, he's joyful. Yeah, everybody is also doubting if Denzel Dumfries is still the one who has to start. A lot of people want to see Frimpong also. Yeah, so I think my expectations are that I think maybe 60 minutes or something, Denzel Dumfries will start together with Xavi Simons on the right side. And then after 60 or 65 minutes, we probably see Frimpong, but then together with Geertruida.
You've also got the option of perhaps playing Frimpong on the left-hand side. That's been mentioned as well as in front of Dumfries. So plenty of options for the Dutch. Fresha, I want to give you the last word. Cody Gakpo was brilliant at the World Cup for the Dutch, and hopefully he can have another good tournament. What Memphis Depay do you think will show up?
Oh, yeah. He's been injured so many times, and he just needs 5 more goals, and then he's top scorer all time of the national team, which Van Persie is now. And it's crazy if you think about it. I mean, if you think about Robin van Persie, he's like the big guy, the big fellow. Everybody's really proud of him. And Memphis is always a bit of he's a guy who likes to stand out offside the pitch, but also onside the pitch. And well, I didn't really have the feeling that the tournament was coming. It wasn't living. Not everybody was talking about it here in the country. But after those games last week, everybody was talking about Memphis Depay, and not only his way of playing, but they were talking about his sweatband, his headband. he was wearing, and everybody was complaining that he was doing that to stand out and that he's not a team player. But in the end, he played 2 really big games, and he was really standing out. And yeah, really one of the leaders. And he's leaving Atletico, so I think he will be one of the key players, and I think he will have a great summer, and then see where it goes if it comes to club football.
I'm going to end with predictions, and Fresha, you're not allowed one because you are in the camp, so you have to go for the Dutch. It's the rule, it's the law. So Fresha's going to go for the Dutch because you can't come on here and then wax lyrical about the Netherlands and then say you think it's going to be a draw.
I would go for the Netherlands anyway. I would go for the Netherlands anyway.
Of course you would. Now the
Yeah.
voice of reason. Prediction time, Ali.
2-0, the Netherlands.
Okay.
Thorough, convincing performance, and a performance that is going to give Fresia and her friends a reason to believe and to go and support their national team. I really do think that the Netherlands will be dominant against Poland. What happens after that, we'll see. But the Netherlands are a good team.